Yo, GM. Welcome to Minted. Generally, your first look at what's happening on the blockchain. Usually, we run from 9 a.m. BST, bringing you the news, headlines, biggest winners in the space, and information on where you can make money in Web3. Remember to do your own research, as nothing shared is financial advice. My name is Pav. We're joined with my co-host Franklin. Yo, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. And it's GA, it's not GM. What are you doing?
Bro, I'm just all over the shop. It's GM somewhere, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. What about yourself?
Yeah, good, mate. Obviously, we're doing that. If I ever have to do that introduction and it's outside of a morning, my brain doesn't compute what's going on. So I end up trying to figure out like trying to almost translate it to the current time or the current space as I go ahead. I feel like I bodged it, but we move anyway. How are you?
Oh, it's good. It's good. I'm good. Probably still like 90% hungover in all honesty, like not feeling great.
Wow.
Yeah, mate, so much to drink on Saturday. I'd looked through like our chats and I sent you 2 pictures and I was like, oh fuck me.
Yeah.
Honestly, the amount of drink, but honestly, like I stood up to do so we had like the food come out and everything, right? And then we had like some singers come out like after the food and they brought out like refreshers, which was a sorbet, but it was laced with like shot of gin and a
All right.
shot of gin.
Gin sorbet.
Yeah, it was basically like lemon sorbet with a shot of gin on top and a shot of prosecco on top, and no one wanted the alcohol in it. So everyone ate the sorbet, passed them down, and I took them all. And then it was my turn to do the speech. I was like, "Oh man!"
Were you
And I've
stumbling?
never, I've never seen a sheet of paper blur so much so quickly in my life. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Wow.
Couldn't read it, but honestly, yeah, smashed the speech. I loved it. Man. It was so good. Just managed
Yeah,
to
did
listen
you
to
get loads
every
of laughs?
Yeah, man, it was really good. I just managed to listen to everyone for like 5, 6 minutes and no one could say shit or stop me. It was like, boom, take a shot at you, take my brother down. It was so much fun. I
That
loved
is
it,
jokes.
man.
And now you're free from weddings.
Now I'm free from weddings, but after that one, honestly, it was the best wedding I've ever been to in my life. And I'm pretty gutted, pretty depressed today, and a bit hungover as well. So, it is what it is. We've
You,
all
when
we
you
got
said when you said that's the best wedding I've ever been to in my life, and then you said I thought you were gonna say I'm ready for mine. No, not yet.
Not quite. Yeah, that's the thing with my brothers. All their bridesmaids were all not single, so that's not ideal, really, to be honest.
Absolutely fantastic for you. Shout out to everyone. We've obviously got our regulars in the house: Rex, Bees, Landy, Fabio, Pixel, Tojo, LRG, and obviously anyone new who's joining as well for the first time. We're live on video. We're going to be going through the headlines of today. What's been happening in the space? We've got Basically with 3D art files and a loss of more staff. So we're going to be taking a deeper dive into what Basically are doing, what's actually happening. We've got some comments to sort of go through that. Then we had Stripe using Sables, obviously with Avalanche, and we've got Pudgy bridging to Solana as an option. We're going to have a look at what does that actually mean. I mean, at the moment, you can bridge to Arbitrum, Polygon, BNB through ZK Sync, but is there a need for Solana? What's Luca doing? What is he thinking? We're going to have a look at that. And then we've got Friendtech V2 goes live. So Franklin, obviously know your opinions on Friendtech. Let's have a look at what's actually happening. They've got an airdrop coming out and they're going to be offering some new things where you can trade, use your NFTs as well. So we'll see how that's going to work. Franklin, let's get straight into basically what's actually happening, man.
Well, they've pumped a little bit, and the arrogance is unbelievable. It's back. Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty good actually. We're starting to see content like actually come from Base holders over the weekend, like playing around with the 3D files that were released last week. Some mixed opinions on the quality of them from a few people. But yeah,
you
I think
share any? You got any examples?
I'll try and pull them up. I'm currently on Google Chrome, but everything is on Safari, so I can't share from the stream over and across. But let me try and figure out how to do this. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
worries. While we do that, go on.
No, go on.
Yeah, I completely forgot we've got our crypto market update. Mate, I'm a shambles. Unless it's 9 a.m. BST, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you've thrown me right in. I was like, I'm ready with the crypto stuff. What's going on?
All right, let's do that first, and we'll head into the stories for today. We've got Bitcoin's price at $62,997. ETH is at 3,168. BNB 591. Solana down 12% at $134. XRP at 51 cents. Doge down 11%, biggest loser on the week at $0.14. I wanted to have a look at a couple of those, Franklin. What do you think? I mean, we've seen this sideways price action for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Nothing really happened as a result of the halving. Was it going to be a sell news event? What do you think?
No, it's the same as what happens all the time. This is the part of the show where you get bullied out of your bags. So this is the part of it where everything's happened that was expected, and you'll see a lot of FUD start coming out on the timeline. That's like all kinds of different stuff from all sorts of media outlets. We've seen a few of it over the last couple of days. Um, around some people going to jail and this, that, and the other. And honestly, this is the time when you kind of just have to have sort of conviction in your bags, and you're going to get some cheaper entries. The trick is just not to sell. This is the start of like how the normal cycle goes. We've had the halving. We've got a lot more influx coming into the market from obviously the ETFs, and I think it's tomorrow the Hong Kong ETF actually goes live. I think as well.
It's an ETH
So
ETF as well, so it's Bitcoin and ETH.
yeah, which is wild. So yeah, this is the part where you kind of just have to get conviction. You're going to get a lot of entries. We've seen a lot of like tokens get a bit of FUD over the last couple of days as well, especially with the likes of Brett, I know, to meme coin and stuff like that. But they've bounced back so hard, and people are getting such good entries on some of these top NFT top meme coin players at the moment. You kind of just have to have conviction and be ready to buy up some of the bags and stuff like that, and just not paper hand them, because it really is that part in the cycle where I think we're going to go sideways a little bit over the summer, which is a very good scenario to have at these levels as well. And then before you know it, we'll break and it'll be something else. But I think we've got a bit of dips, peaks, and troughs to go through over the next couple of weeks and months. But yeah, I think you just got to strap in.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to just drop everyone a reminder. If you haven't already, drop us a GM or a GA or a GE in the bottom right hand corner and share the space. Let's get as many people in the conversation. If you did want to jump into anything that we're discussing, definitely feel free to jump up on stage. Frank, I was having a look at the crypto bubbles, and if you can just change the title while I go through this, we have got a couple of gainers in the last 24 hours. We've got W token up 4.6%, which is interesting. HNT up 8.4% and Say up 4.6%. So very few and far between. But yeah, I don't know. We haven't really heard much from W for that pump. Did you hear anything or see anything about that?
I mean, they're just doing so much. Obviously, there's the bridge for DGods, and obviously they're partnered with Wormhole and Utes as well. And there's been conversations around other collections as well, enabling bridges and things. So yeah, for me, Wormhole is quite an obvious play, and I've said it a few times. On the space, not selling my airdrop that I did get, even though it probably would have been smart to sell the top. I could have bought it all back down at the bottom and probably tripled my bags or whatever. But I did that anyway with some conviction buys at the bottom when we had that dip, when we had that weekend of everything kind of going a bit crazy in the Middle East and kind of war scare going on. So yeah, I think W is honestly an obvious play for me, and my wallets were looking so good yesterday. So good. Everything was green. I was loving it, man.
Well, I saw your message in the group and it was like, oh, everything's green. I obviously wasn't on my wallet just now. I checked today. I was like, not really. Obviously, we had that price change in the 24 hours. But in terms of market cap and daily, ETH is down 4% in terms of market cap. Sol is down 5.7%, BNB down 2%, and BTC down 1.2%. So nothing too exciting. We're going to see this consolidation move to the right. And yeah, these crypto bubbles are sick, man. I don't know if you're looking at them.
Yeah, I can see you and I can see the bubbles. All good.
Let's go. All right, cool. Let's have a very quick look at what's happening on chain with NFTs before we head into Yuga, Stripe, Pudgy Penguins, and Frentech.
Yeah, just on marketplaces real quick. Volume market share in USD over the past week. It's not looking good for Magic Eden. They fell to like 10%. They were up around the 20% mark last week, but OpenSea are down at 13, so a big dump in terms of volume. But the biggest gainer in terms of marketplace is CryptoPunks. They've had $14.5 million in the last week. I think the biggest sale was actually one punk that came through, and I think it was around $12 million. I think it was. I
Wow.
think I've got it. I can pin it to the top. I think I did see this the other day, but yeah, huge volume.
I mean, seeing sales like that always, it never really surprises me, but it always does, especially when you have lower volumes or lower trading on collections that we're used to seeing a lot more activity on?
Yeah, so it was basically Punk 635 sold for 4,000 Ethereum, which is $12.41 million, which total volume through Punks in the last week was 14.5 million. So looking at like $2 million in Punks across the board, apart from that one huge sale of $12.4 million. Pretty big buy, 4,000 ETH.
I keep forgetting you to tell you to share your screen, but you can't, can you? Because you're on Chrome.
Yeah, I'm on the opposite one. I could maybe do it on the other side, but
Where is it?
yeah,
NFT looking at.
I really didn't do this very well in the setup prior. On the wrong tab.
Yeah. Fair enough. No worries. Let's head over to some of the floor prices very quickly before we head into what's actually happening. So Basie down 9.6% in the last 24 hours, only 63 sales. Prometheans have gone 1,300 pending, 26 million market cap. Didn't really see that coming. Arsic again down. I'm going to switch it to crypto. So we are talking about where are we? Arsic at 3K. Runestones haven't recovered at 1.2K. We spoke about them last week at 1K, at 1.3. Obviously down from the high of 5.6. Not really much over there. 143 purchases, huh?
They're that low right now. That's crazy.
Yeah, 1.2 is naughty, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts. One thing I would say is obviously like the airdrop of Dog is something that's been getting kind of spoken about a lot.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing all of the same tweets in terms of seeing, it's $4,000 airdrop. The volume through it is nothing. It's like nothing. There's no volume because it's not like an openly traded, like basically liquidity pool, right? It's not like fast trades or anything on Bitcoin. It's super slow and the volume's not really that great, although it has took a good bounce over the last few days. The amount of tokens that are actually going to the airdrop from Runes is worth about $4,000.
Wow.
But it's $4,000 you can't liquidate, man. Like the volume's not there yet. So it's very clickbaity and misleading titles on a lot of these tweets that we're seeing at the moment. But I think that's one of the reasons that people are kind of dumping the Runes and why we've seen that drop. It was always going to happen. We said, and I said it multiple times on the space prior to obviously the halving and them going live, that I think they're really going to pull back hard and there's going to be, plenty of time. Like everyone was FOMOing in, I think, during the launch to try and get certain blocks and whatnot and get in early. But yeah, there's plenty of time on this shit, man. Trust me.
Yeah, definitely. It's an attention economy, isn't it? It's not on the timeline as much. There's no excitement. The FOMO's died. People didn't really get that massive jump that they were expecting. In fact, there was actually the biggest pullback. So, I mean, if you're a Runes holder, obviously long-term play, yes. In the short term, you're down four odd K, which is a bit long.
Yeah, look, my take is this, and I said it the other day. At the moment, meme coins on Bitcoin are literally just forced to be meme coins at the moment. They're actually not meme coins. They're not living on their own. They're not anything. The only thing that's kind of going is that they were first. Now, that's going to work out for a few of them, maybe Nakamoto, maybe Dog, maybe a couple of others that start to form like a bit of a community around them and stuff like that. But first isn't the best. Like that's not what lasts in the end. What does last is like how a meme really evolves and becomes like a meme itself that lives on its own and just kind of evolves and attracts people to it. And at the moment, they're just memes for meme's sake. Like it's not as though the meme coins on there are kind of doing anything at the moment. They're not like evolving into the fun meme culture that we've got. I just feel like it's forced. I think there's going to be one that does evolve into that, and it's just finding that play. I think whether it's Dog, I'm not too sure. Whether it's Nakamoto, that's probably a conviction play that's probably quite smart considering the name of it and when it was launched. But yeah, at the moment for me, there's no meme coins yet on Bitcoin.
Yeah, fair enough. I just wanted to have a look at a couple of the other collections. For Ghana, up 11% on Sol, and then on ETH, we've got Basie down 12.3%, which is probably a perfect segue into what's actually happening with Yuga Labs, what's happening with Basie down 12% in 24 hours on the floor, and Macy down 4% as well. So, I mean, nothing like too crazy, but obviously we've had this announcement in terms of some layoffs, and you're saying there's been a 3D art reveal. Let's take a deeper dive into that.
Yeah, just really quick, doubling back on the W. Clubs just mentioned in the comments there as well. I was hearing rumors of W staking coming too, which I mentioned like the other week as well. which would do very, very well, obviously, for the token itself. So that might have been one of the reasons for the pump. That might have been announced a little bit more as well. So yeah, just to double back on W then.
All right. Cool. Let's go. Were you able to get any of those the 3D art for the Basie up?
Yeah, if you run onto Twitter, the problem for me is I'm not signed in on Google as well. If you go to Yuga Labs and you bring up the Twitter page, you'll be able to get it up.
All right. Let's start talking us through it, and I'll get that up.
Yeah, so obviously we've seen a pump from Basie, and it was originating from kind of what they've been doing over the last couple of days and releasing these files. Now you can head to, I can't remember where it was. I think it might be in the town square or the website. You can basically wallet connect and download the render files to your ape. Yeah, that's the one. You've got it.
They do look pretty clean, and I like it.
When you zoom in, there's a few different things that don't look super clean on some of them. Now I don't know whether it's the render quality again, but it honestly looks pretty cool to me. And I think it's
quality that you get when you upload to X. Obviously, it has a
but it's honestly what Basie needed. For me, I looked at it and I thought, you know what, this could be it. And I was bullish on them getting rid of gaming, sack it off, get rid of them, get rid of all of them, bring Basie back to what it used to be, which is just generally being cool. And this for me, like now allowing apes to create this. Now I'm seeing like even on the timeline over the weekend, people start to use them in, putting them on AI, and they're doing the runs. They're also putting them into like into Call of Duty as like sort of just renders and stuff like that. And it just hits so much harder. And I think that's what Basie has really needed. It needs that presence back on the timeline, the bullish nature, and like they said themselves, they fell off. And I think they've realized that they're really starting to, give access and stuff to it. When you're paying 50, 60, 70, $80,000 for a flat drawing of an ape, this is what this is what you want, man. You want something more. You want something extra, and they've got the files there and making them available to the community and holders, I think, is a really, really good move.
When you said that you expect Yuga to go back to what it was, this actually really ties in with the headline. I've got it here. So Yuga Labs lost its way, say CEO as Bored Ape NFT maker reveals layoffs. Now we've obviously seen layoffs from Basie in the past. We had Gordon with his 50% fatality heart rate. I think it was something as stupidly high as that when he took that step back. Obviously, this is the second round of layoffs since October. I've got some comments from him here as well. It says, I owe everyone a frank and honest explanation of what led to the decision. To simply put it, Yuga lost its way. He wrote, getting ourselves centered and on the right path means being a smaller, more agile and crypto native team, a team that does fewer things but does them brilliantly. I mean, it summarizes it really well, right? Because there was a point where Other Side was released and it wasn't really clear what's actually happening. They raised 450 million in March and had a $4 billion valuation. I saw a tweet or some comments from when he was saying that at that time they only had 12 people in the team, and the focus was creating really, really powerful content that makes you laugh, that you love, and that you can really get behind. And it seems like they did actually lose their way. He summarized it really well.
Yeah, Gagger also tweeted on April 26th. He said, really tough day today. I'm hell-bent on transforming Yuga and getting us back to our roots. And that means making hard decisions. By far the hardest is saying goodbye to some talented team members. Here was my message to the team this morning, which there's a full statement there that I'll try and pin to the top. But at the end, which I think was really, really good, and I think is a good statement to have, he basically says, for those who will be staying on, it's paramount that we align our mission. What we're doing isn't easy. This is all about speed, agility, and commitment. And that's one thing, just this is me talking now, but that's one thing they've been missing for a long, long time. I think they've been relying on a lot and fell off on Twitter. They've had no real speed, no agility. They've had no commitment to like community for quite a long time. And I think they really did fall off. And we spoke about it a bit. And he goes on to say, if you don't want to be a part of this next phase, that's okay. Anyone is welcome to take part. The same severance we're offering effective employees today. You can take part in those and part ways on good terms, basically handing that like layoff out to anyone that doesn't align with the vision, which honestly for me, fucking finally.
No,
like,
but it's all fine saying that to your corporate staff, but how about if you're a holder and you're down 90% from fucking that absolute high where everything was promised and you were so excited, and then to now it's like, well, even they're fucking cutting back. So now what? Do you know
It's
what I
so
mean?
bullish. If I was down 90%, I know what I bought in for back then. I bought in for the vibes, the community, what was going on. They were the height of everything. They were partnering across the board with all kinds of different things. Apes was like just, all over the timeline and they were cool. And they've effectively became, I mean, uncool, completely uncool, like to a ridiculous level, which is crazy, man, honestly. But I think if I was a holder and I was down 90%, these announcements, I wouldn't be looking at selling anytime soon. I would be,
I mean,
yeah,
at this
I'd be pretty
point,
bullish on these announcements.
at this point, you're gonna have to ride it out, right? I've got some final comments. I don't want to read too much into it, but it pretty much sums up what we're saying. He said the creative first spirit that first drove this company from inception has been getting muddied by labyrinth corporate processes. He wrote, "We work hard and we care, but somehow we ended up with groups and committees. We plan more than we ship." And I think that makes complete sense. It really, with that $4 billion valuation, it really shot up into a corporate company. And like you're saying, they've fallen off in terms of on Twitter. But I mean, I'm even looking at their Instagram right now, 550K followers, which is really big. YouTube, they haven't actually shared anything. Their last video was 10 months ago. 2 years ago, they're 102K views. They've got they've got all of the attention. So he's got everything it takes to be able to pull this around. It's just how quickly they can get back to iterating quickly and just focusing on one main thing that they can really start driving forward, to provide utility for anyone who's a holder and like just fucking down bad.
Yeah, I mean, you can't afford in this space where a week is effectively 2 months to
Yeah.
be, planning more than you ship. By the time you've planned, the meta's gone. The thing you were thinking about is probably now irrelevant. And if you haven't pivoted quickly enough to kind of facilitate that and be on trend in whatever you're thinking about doing and hitting the narrative, you can't do it all the times and you have to go out of the way to build what you actually want to build. But if you can't pivot quickly in the space, and as we've seen with Basie, this is one of their issues that they couldn't. It just doesn't bode well, and it's really it is bullish, honestly, to be seeing this type of statement, and everyone loves a comeback story, so I'm here
Yeah,
for it.
hopefully his health's better. I mean, yeah, we'd love it, right? We'd love nothing more to see Basie and Macy back at the prices that they were. I just feel like there hasn't been enough iteration compared to what else is coming out and the rate that other people, like you said, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, it's just not happening. So, yeah, man, let's see what happens and how it unfolds. But for now, I mean, if you've where do you go if you've just left Basie? You're pretty much, you can go anywhere, right? If you're a staff member at Basie, at Yuga Labs.
Eh, Maybe in Web3, probably doesn't mean much elsewhere. It depends
Yeah,
what you're doing, I guess, but yeah,
yeah,
if you're at a higher level, maybe. But again, you've worked there for the time they haven't done anything, so depends.
yeah, definitely. I wanted to
It's not a good resume of like, oh, I work from them from when they were 250 ETH down to when they were 10. No, I know.
yeah, down to the biggest, hottest fucking project, and now everyone's just waiting for them to get flipped. But I mean, that actually leads us on to our nice topic quite quickly. The Lil Pudgy's bridging to Solana. Let's talk about that.
Let's go. Lead us in, mate. Sorry, I didn't know whether I was rugging there or whether that was my front door ring. I'm not too sure, but
It was mine.
was it yours or mine? It threw me off
Yeah,
so much. I was like checking to see.
it was mine. I've pinned it to the top. Give me a sec.
All right, and it won't come up for me, so that's absolutely brilliant. I can't get it loaded.
There we go.
All right, you've got it loaded, and I can't see it. Oh man, we're rugging so bad. This is the thing. On a morning, we're all prepared and ready, and we do an evening slot because we were rugging this morning, and we can't even get a status up. But yeah, as you can probably see on the video, we've got Pudgy Penguins looking to open a bridge to Solana. I mean, this could be super huge, and again, it could be a part of the reason for W. No
Yeah,
pun
I mean, there's a few thoughts I had obviously on the bridge. Number one, my first instinct was why? What necessarily could be the reason of the incentive? At the moment, I think you can bridge to Arbitrum, Polygon, BNB through ZK Sync, but I mean, I don't actually know how many people have done that. So I sort of, at first, I was like, okay, cool, yeah, like you can bridge to Solana. But then I was sort of thinking, what is the actual value for the holders? Because if you bridge to Solana, yes, you can build a project with lower fees. But then, like, let's say they do an airdrop tomorrow. Like, how is that going to then work across like chains? And isn't it just going to get a bit complicated?
Not really. I think it's honestly a good
There's no
move.
fees, different chains. Yeah, I mean, it's
Uh,
not like overly bullish, but I'm not like overly bearish either.
Yeah, I think it aligns with their greater mission going forward in terms of like what they're looking at for Pudgy gaming as well. Ethereum is just not the one for any gaming to go ahead on. I think it's paramount. I think Polygon as well, as we've seen working with some big brands in the space, makes sense in terms of gas. Solana, there's a big culture on Solana. We've seen a lot of people jump over there as well in terms of just opening up. And I think the cross between like Ethereum and Solana at the moment is very much mingled now. Like I think the maxi kind of culture, let's say, is definitely dwindling. I would say it's definitely, even just from personal experience, it's moving away from that. Definitely from the people left in the space when there's opportunities on other chains. What the bridge means, I'm not too sure whether it means too much to many people right now. I don't think so, but I think for the grander vision, it must make complete sense to them, whether it's financially or just ease of use for the plans for the gaming in the future, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it now, right? We've seen it with Frank, and obviously Luca now. I think there's going to be a lot more projects that are going to be hitting chain agnostic. And then I just wanted to track back on you were saying about the attention and liquidity moving from ETH over to Solana. I don't think like NFT collections, for me personally, like on Solana, are really hot. I just think everyone made profit on ETH and then went over to Solana on meme coin season, saw how cheap and simple and easy it was, saw how sick Jupiter was, and Phantom, and thought, yeah, I can actually fuck around on here. So I don't think people are there actively waiting for something to happen, but if it does, or if a collection comes up, I think people are more open to it now. And I think that's us included as well. We were sort of not really active on Solana. Yes, we had our long-term holds, but we weren't really using the chain that much. We weren't buying the NFTs. Our attention wasn't there. And it's through this last 3 months, it's all gone over there. Everyone's realized how quick and cheap it is and how much money you can make with the lower barrier to entry. And even on the collections as well that have lower mint prices compared to them paying gas on ETH, that is it just an attention thing? Like, or like, my question is there a need for it?
I don't think it's got anything to do with floor price. I don't think it's got anything to do with the value of Pudgy. Honestly, if you believe in the brand and the IP, it doesn't matter what chain it's on. And I think that is only valuable for certain projects. I think Pudgy is one of them that could definitely say that. I think definitely going into the future of NFTs, and I think what the future landscape looks like, especially for a project that is built around a business, an actual sustainable business with in real life products on shelves with IP that's getting everywhere in terms of memes. Why would you not make it as easy as possible to transact and make it that way for not only like the general crypto user, but also like countries as well. I think it just makes it easier across the board on certain chains to do certain things that are more relatively like accepted as well. So I think it's good. I don't think it's going to affect like the floor price and stuff, and I don't think that's got anything to do with it. Like Utes was bridged initially for a $3 million grant from Polygon. I don't think it's got anything to do with that. But again, some of the best devs are on Solana. They really are, and yeah, maybe there's something they're building out that just makes sense to build on Solana as well. So to have that bridge, I think is good, and people can just decide for themselves what chain they want to exist on.
Yeah, maybe more is better as long as it's calculated. I think the impact of it we will see in terms of what actually Luca's building. If we have a look across everything else that's happening with Pudgy Penguins, I was just having a look at his profile, which I haven't seen in some time. They are still cooking at a ridiculous rate. We're rolling out plushies in some of the biggest amusement parks worldwide, and we're looking to license 4 new characters for this rollout. Submit your Pudgy Penguins for consideration. Now, it's a shame it's not Lil Pudgies because I did actually go to try and do that, but constantly iterating. You've now got America, UK, parts of Asia in toy stores. You've got Amazon, and then now you've got in amusement parks. Like, it's a ridiculous amount of iteration and growth that's happening. and he's so active, man. Look, he was in Dubai. We've got the hiatus has gone on long enough. Penguin Summit is coming. He's cooking, man, and I think this is probably just one small thing of a few very big things that are going to be coming out over the next month to 2 months.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things in business that a lot of founders miss out on, and it's getting products out there. Distribution and distribution networks is the key to like many businesses. Like Sammy said it a few times before as well, and it's so true. In terms of first time founders focus on the product and perfection. Second time founders focus on distribution, and it's the speed at which you can iterate and get it out there and get it out in the public domain and like kind of move it and grow the business and get product sold on shelves around the world and get that IP creating more and more value the more it's seen. And they're definitely starting to do that. Like, yeah, it's got huge potential, huge potential.
Yeah, definitely. If anybody wanted to jump up and join the conversation, definitely just request to speak and share your thoughts. But yeah, either way, bullish. Definitely got a lot more to come from Luca, and I love how active he is as well. And this is probably just going to be something part of a very big master plan, which is going to unfold, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree.
All right, let's head over to we got Frentech. So Frentech V2 goes live as hype builds for 100% airdrop for friend token. Now obviously we've had many conversations about Frentech and um the social fi and whether we're enrolled and whether we believe in it. I mean, they're cooking, they're building. What do you think?
I mean, I'm just looking at some of the numbers at the moment as well from like kind of what they had in September 2023 and like upwards of like 350,000 transactions per day. They through like the beginning of this year, through January, February, and into March, they were getting around 1,300. They've peaked up like when things were starting to be announced to like 40,000, and they're dropping back down to yeah, they dropped down over the weekend pretty hard to 2,000. They're at like 23,000 yesterday, and then 16,000 today so far. So they're starting to build up a little bit. They're having peaks and troughs. People are going to be interested as long as it's an airdrop. They're going to dump it again. It's probably going to be we're going to stop talking about it again. I think it's the same thing going over, but people are going to make some good money. I think with any airdrop, especially with something like Frentech that was there, like kind of from the very early in the beginning, and a lot of people made a lot of points from trading volumes itself. I think people are going to make a decent bag of money, but I don't know, man. I'm struggling with it. I really am. Whereas you've got like new competitors coming out now, which are absolutely running like crazy.
Yeah, I'm just having a look here. We've got 34.4 million worth of TVL at the moment from DeFi Llama, which is quite a considerable drop from 52 million that it was at the peak in October. Attention definitely left. I just want to go through some of the new features to see if I can swing your excitement. So V2 of Frentech introduces several new features, including Money Club. The Money Club feature will allow communities to manage shared treasuries and mint tradable on-chain collectibles like NFT, meme coins, and other kinds of media. They're trying to encompass it all in one, right? So you can do it all in one place, so you don't have to do that. What do you think about that?
So it's a friend's DAO.
It's a trading friends DAO. Yeah, you can sell to your friends. The platform is also rolling out its new point system, will be used for the airdrop and custom curves, which enable users to create their own engagement metrics. I mean, it sounds okay. Sounds decent in terms of you'll be able to trade your NFTs, sell your keys, get the airdrop, and it is 100% airdrop, I think, as well. So it's going to be should be a decent amount. We haven't actually heard how much it would be and when it's going to be either, but
It's a
either way.
100% airdrop.
Yeah, let me just pull it up now. Where was it?
Tell me it's vested because that's gone to zero. If not, that liquidity pool is getting drained.
Let me just.
Oh,
I'm
there
just
it is.
scrolling
Right
through. I
there.
can't. Pardon?
Yeah, go down. They got the TVL up. There you go. At time of writing, $3.4 million worth of total TVL on Frentech. Yeah, it's a decent amount of money, 52 million during peak in October. I mean, that's kind of how much TVL they had on the platform in general anyway, in terms of what they were operating at last year. But yeah, I don't know, man. It depends what these tokenomics look like, but yeah, just airdropping 100% of the token out there is not really ideal. I'd have to look into that a little bit more. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the active addresses compared to the fees and the TVL over on the video. It dropped big time. It was literally like, it looks like a pump and dump. Like if you saw that on a chart.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at their actual dashboard on June as well at the moment. Unfortunately, I can't get it up, but yeah, I mean, they've had total protocol fees of 16,771 ETH so far. That's like all time, which equates to around $24.7 million. They've had a total inflow of 335,000 ETH, which is about 600 million US dollars. So it's a huge amount of transactions. Obviously, a lot of that was bots as well, while they were kind of farming and buying up people's shares and things. But again, it's for me the whole kind of thing built around it. It just doesn't feel social to me. It's just too much of a trade against your friends with effectively an NFT collection you're buying yourself. But I mean, I'm all for people experimenting in this space, and who knows, it could be completely wrong, and they hit it out the park with something that might just stick, and they run forward with it. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people I think are going to do very well from this airdrop, and by all means, like, yeah, go for it. But I'm still not interested.
Yeah, definitely. We've got LRG and Dizzy who have requested to come on stage. Dizzy, you got your hand up. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Nice to have you back. It was a weird morning. Not happy.
It was weird for us as well, man. We were like, what the fuck now do we do?
We were gutted.
Yeah. So, but listen, I wanted to see if you guys heard about Stripe and how they are bringing crypto payments to their system. They're using
That's the perfect segue. Again, they're next.
Solana and Ethereum, but they did an example of Solana and how quick the transaction was, because you guys saw that, yeah.
I did, yeah. I've got the video. I'm going to play it on our video in a sec.
Are you in our Google Drive or what? Are you just looking at the next headline and moving us on swiftly?
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw that over the weekend and I thought, wow, that's going to be a big push for Solana, because Stripe have over 50% of all the websites in the US use them, don't they, for payment systems? So, yeah, it might be a time to get a few more bags of Solana, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even just over the weekend as well, it was funny while you mentioned Solana. I'd obviously rented the hotel room and went for like the one with the terrace and stuff. It was absolutely incredible. I was like, man, that's expensive. Like, what the hell? And then I put it in Solana and I was like, oh, all right, cool. That's all right. Like, it's weird how that perception actually changes. But yeah, I think stacking over this next coming period of Solana and Ethereum is just, yeah, such a good move to be making, to be completely honest. But we got LRG with his hand up. I think he might have been talking about the previous conversation. Then we'll go back to Stripe and go through it in a little bit more detail. But LRG, GA.
G-A-G-E? I don't know whether it's classic.
Good evening, good afternoon. Who knows?
Yeah. No, all I was going to say, guys, just when you're on about the whole Solana and like the whole kind of like certainly this bull run, but I don't know if you guys have maybe touched on this before, but are you aware that you can obviously swap tokens now directly on the Phantom wallet?
Yeah, and it's quick.
So like anyone new coming to this space, and it's strange because I had a mate who's never really been into crypto, and he was chatting about meme coins. And he says, "Oh, I don't know how to do it all." And now, literally, you can just download a Phantom wallet, and you can just, as long as you've got some Solana, you can either send there maybe through Coinbase. Unfortunately, you can't buy in this country. You can in other countries on the Phantom wallet, but you can't for some reason in this country. But you just get Solana in that wallet. You can do everything just on that wallet. How easy that is, and I think that's going to be a massive play in this bull run for newcomers in this space. That literally you're not having to connect to any other dApps. You're not even having to go to Jupiter. You can literally, it's not the best exchange rate, but you can just literally swap them straight on the actual wallet. That would be huge. Like,
yeah, I mean, you know how I've got a weird echo going on right now. Can anyone else hear that? Or is it just me?
I can hear it as well.
Can you actually? Maybe it's LRG. Oh yeah, LRG just need to mute. Sorry, mate. But yeah, no, I completely agree, mate. I think what Magic Eden are doing, and like Tensor as well as Phantom, they're just making it so easy, and the speed of it is amazing. Like, you know, it firsthand, LRG, like how bridging, how difficult it is, and like generally just in terms of trying to figure out and ask everybody, you know, which is the cheapest way, the quickest way, the safest way as well. It just becomes very, very difficult, and being able to do it from your wallet as quick as they are doing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they can do Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah. I think I don't know.
You don't need the others.
Matic's there as well, maybe.
Maybe Matic.
And I think that's the one thing I think we forget, and certainly this space, most of us are kind of fairly experienced now, and you know, we've all probably had to bridge and transfer stuff and convert stuff and all the rest of it. But I think for any newcomers, it's all about ease, and it's all about how simple it is. And I think that's the one thing, certainly from experience with Bitcoin, certainly experience from Ethereum, Solana, Matic, all of them different chains. The one thing that I've kind of definitely, if I've become a maxi in any chain, it'll be Solana. Is one, I've made a good chunk of money on it, and two, it's piss easy. And that moving forward for newcomers is, I think, what it's all about. Is it's making it seamless, and it's not having these huge fees of like paying $50 for an Ethereum transfer or whatever. I think they are definitely quietly winning this ease of route for newcomers, and that's where all the new money is going to come from.
Yeah. ETH Solana, ETH Maxi turn Solana Maxi.
I can remember.
It's so true though. It's so true what he's saying. Like, sorry, LRG, go for it.
Go on, LRG. I think we just had some feedback over the top.
Am I rugging?
You good? Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you. I'm saying, I can remember when you wouldn't even speak about Solana. You wouldn't other than Ethereum, and when you did, it was like somebody had shit in your kettle. It was like you said it with such gritted teeth, and it was like almost like, I don't want to talk about this. But I'm going to have to. And now you've got bots going on Solana. You're getting meme coins. You're right into
staying up till all hours in the morning trading.
Yeah, I mean, one way to make me a maxi is allow me to make money. Like, there was no volume on there at the time, and it was just nothing was happening. So it was what it was. But yeah, now it's good, cheap, and fun. So bring it on. I do honestly think meme coins have now got a real home on Solana, and I think it's going to push them incredibly high in the next bull run.
Yeah, definitely nail on the head, LRG, from like a UI UX perspective. So seamless and simple compared to MetaMask, and getting ETH on there, like absolute nightmare, right? And obviously we saw MetaMask implementing PayPal payments, and that was like a 9% fee that we saw from a thread. So simple and so easy. And you're right, like the liquidity is just going to go where it is. Number one, the volume is, which obviously we've seen, which is why we moved over. But number two, where it's easy and they don't have to watch like 3 YouTube videos on how to do it.
Let me just clarify. I didn't move over. I'm just visiting.
Yeah, no, we know. But like, I used to go through Solana prices and used to just be like, meh. Like you didn't even care of the price of it at one point. And then we moved over. We were starting making money on there, and then all of a sudden now we're doing a whole segment for like 5 minutes on Phantom and how good it is. We're Phantom fanboys. Admit it. We've been converted.
Yeah, look, you can't deny like what we've always spoke about is, you know, it's been, the conversation changes so much, but it's generally been like mass adoption has been one of the biggest like conversation pieces over the last, like through the bear market, when everyone's bored and they want to get more people in, the prices go up, right? That was generally the conversation. I think it's starting to get a little bit forgotten at the moment, but everything that whoever's like actually paying attention to like what's being built, you can kind of like see where the money is actually going to flow, like in the next cycle, who's going to be using what. And I think Solana's just, solidified itself recently. I think the bridges and how the NFTs and generally cryptos became more integrated. I think it's just, an adaptation of the space maturing, and it's good to see.
Yeah, definitely love that. Thanks, LRG, for chiming in. We know you're a Solana Maxi and a Phantom fanboy, as we all are. And as much as Franklin likes to hide it and say he's only visiting, he's been there for a couple of weeks now, so he might be overstaying his welcome. Who knows?
Phantom fanboy. Oh Jesus,
I love it. All right, but thanks for that, Dizzy.
Phantom fanboy, Phantom.
Eh?
He needs to change from LRG to Phantom fanboy.
I think he should put it in his bio. He's got what? Degen Distillery, Broadside, Phantom fanboy, come on, LRG, 24 hours, let's do it.
Forget crypto LRG, it's Solana LRG now. That's what's going on.
Oh mate, he's not living this down now, is he? He's come up and sung, waved the flag of Phantom, and now he's going to be tarnished with it.
He's been making plays and making good money, so you cannot knock it at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Where the money is.
All right, let's head into the topic that Dizzy brought up. Let me bring up some context for anyone who doesn't know what's actually happening. And then, Dizzy, we'd love to have you back up and get your take on what you think about it. So, payments giant Stripe expands crypto return with Avalanche integration. Stripe's new Avalanche integration means that users can buy AVAX directly through the mobile app without having to go through an exchange. I thought it was actually Solana, Dizzy, and I think you mentioned that as well, but obviously it seems like it's not. So just last week, Stripe is allowing companies to use their tech to accept USDC. I did actually have the video on YouTube, but I can't find it now while I'm trying to go through it. So Franklin, if you talk us through it, I'll get some context for everyone watching.
Yeah, so basically Stripe are going to go live in the summer with USDC stablecoin payments, which is, I think, huge news for the space. You'll be able to basically use stablecoin payments as a checkout payment option this year in a renewed show of support for cryptocurrencies, which, yeah, super bullish. They did do, like Dizzy said, which I don't know whether we're going to be able to bring it up, but basically he done a presentation in front of quite a lot of people, the CEO of Stripe, basically showing how quick payments were on Solana using stablecoins. And yeah, it's been received very well in the space. Someone like Stripe handling so many of different payments, especially online e-commerce payments, in terms of like payment service providing, settling payments from when you go through a checkout on e-commerce stores, like huge volumes. And now being able to do that with USD and stable coins is, I think super bullish, crazy for the space.
Yeah, definitely. Dizzy, did you want to come up and share some of those figures you had about Stripe? Because I didn't realize they were so big in the US.
Yeah, so that 50% of all website e-commerce websites use Stripe in the US.
Yeah, I think that equated to last year. The total was around $1 trillion through Stripe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, I've got the video on live on YouTube here with us. This guy in this video is paying for his car insurance. It's crazy, man. Like it's crazy from like where we've come from and how far Web 2 and Web 3 or crypto integration is from our everyday lives to now it's in front of our eyes becoming so simple and easy. And you can just see like the curve, right, of adoption. And you've had the early adopters and then like that mass adoption curve. You can see why it's going to be so big when you've got companies like Stripe, PayPal, all integrating so that you can have that Web 2 experience but still use your crypto. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it's going to affect different people in different ways. Obviously, like one of the biggest things for crypto is cross-border payments. The banks just can't do that, take days and days and a long time to settle. Some banks are restricted. Obviously, crypto you can send to anyone, anywhere in the world, like in the blink of an eye, with especially with Solana and stuff. It's super quick. So like I think on one side it's amazing. On the other side, it's slightly losing the decentralized nature of what crypto is, I think, for a few people, in terms of like you pay for like car insurance, your details are all over that. Like you're doxing that wallet 100%. So just, make sure on the right side of everything with what you're doing and declare everything properly if you're going to use this route, which I'm sure everybody is. But yeah, if you had anything that was, slightly undoxed or you didn't want to there in the public domain, you kind of losing that decentralized nature just a little bit. It would be the only thing I would say.
It's actually a crazy conversation, and I do want to take a little bit of a deeper dive. I do want to take a bit of a deeper dive with it in terms of as you have these.
What are you saying?
As you have, I need some more adjectives. As you have, and I've lost my train of thought. As you have these Web 2 companies that are integrating payments, and like you're saying, you have that you lose that decentralized nature. Is that not the direction that this is going to be going? Unless you want to trade, meme coins through a DEX, or you want to buy someone's NFT without any. Like it's where we're going, right? Like let's say we're earning money in the in crypto, and then like right now, if I wanted to pay for a British gas bill, I wouldn't be able to do that. unless I put it through a card and then do it through issuer. But yeah, this is like simple. And
I mean, on one view, you're losing decentralization.
the question is, once you can do everything that you can with the crypto that you earn, is decentralization going to still be as important, do you think?
Look, it's not the decentralized. There's two aspects of decentralization that we're kind of talking about here. Like you're losing nothing in terms of your custody of your own funds. It's in your wallet. No one can take it from you. But you are declaring, where your
anonymity.
Yeah, basically is what you're kind of losing there. And then it's obviously then, like, for tax, you're paying that essentially, that you're going to have to like declare and everything else, which I'm sure everyone else is anyway. But on that side of it, it's kind of, if you did want to be keeping things, self custody and completely within your control, and have it there, even though it's declared but not like given that wallet, you're kind of losing that little bit. So you're not losing the self custody or anything like that, but if you had something on chain that you were wanting to keep just to the side or whatever it might be, you're kind of losing that, which you're going to lose anyway as soon as you bring it off chain and into your bank account, which you're eventually going to have to do. But yeah, just a thought that I had.
Yeah, fair enough. It is a very interesting conversation. And I think what we require from crypto will change in the sense that, like I've said it already, but when you earn that money and you want to be in a position where you can spend it, is the anonymity going to be as important?
No.
Yeah, and I'm not sure it is. Yeah, I'm not sure it is.
No, I mean, you're not losing that decentralization. Like, it's not sat in a bank; it's sat with you. Like, that bank can go under whatever. We can have, like, there's still risks, obviously, with something like a USDC and USDT depegging that we've obviously seen prior with the likes of Luna and the collapse there as well. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing overall. It's more volume to the space in terms of USDC. People, using crypto, user interfaces, making it easy is something we've always spoke about. And then once people see that benefit, they start to get crypto curious. Is like, what am I actually doing, and what else am I, going to be available to? And that's how things start to grow. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a few announcements before we head into the last couple of minutes. Was there anything else? I know you wanted to just cover the Brett FUD. I haven't got any notes here from that, but I wanted to see if you just want to take a look at that.
Yeah, let me get my phone because I was keeping it away from us because it for some reason on Spaces you can't turn your phone all the way down in volume, so it keeps coming out, which is really weird. But basically over the weekend, it came out that a few people have basically been sleuthing on Brett and, found out that about 80% of the supply was bought up by people prior to the launch that were whitelisted. So a huge amount of people were basically able to buy the token before anybody else, and they bought up about 80% of the supply.
Shit.
They've made a lot of money. Now that FUD came out, and I think it dropped to about, I think it was 200 or maybe 300. I was looking over the weekend, very drunk, so I don't know what was actually the numbers, but it bounced back pretty hard. It done like a 2 or a 3x thereafter on just the bounce from the bottom that they had. And yeah, I mean, it's the biggest meme coin like on base that I think is going to do anything. I think it's, one of those things that had a bit of a dodgy start. Whitelisting went in that direction, but it's still there. It's still up and running. It's still the biggest meme coin on base. I think it's still going to do very, very well. There's a tweet from them over the weekend. I think it was something along the lines of like, you were caught in 4K, like paper hunting, caught you panic selling the Pico bottom in 4K with Brett with a camera, which I thought was pretty funny. It's like 52,000 impressions on that one.
I mean, in terms of base, we haven't really. I mean, we covered that space in terms of once liquidity was moving from Solana, and we saw that drop, and it was heading over to base for a bit. It didn't really feel like it was there for that long, or that much happened outside of Brett. Do you know any other coins that really took off? And like, were you playing around there?
I wasn't, honestly. I'll be completely honest. I know a certain cryptocurrency is launching on there very, very soon.
Let's fucking go.
But yeah, I mean, bullish on base and their fees and everything and what they're building. I think they're going to do very, very well into the next run, just simply because of how they've been building as well, and the talent they've been, attracting to build protocols on base. And obviously it's Coinbase as well, which is obviously one of the biggest exchanges. But yeah, Brett took a big dump. I'm getting the numbers up here. From around a 500 mil market cap, they went down to like 250 mil market cap. So they did like a pretty big dip down, but they bounced up to around 430, where they're settling at the moment at about 322. And this is what I'm saying. Like I promised it at the very beginning, I think we're going to have some peaks and troughs in a lot of these things. And I think if you got conviction players in a lot of these wags that, you know, have really stood out, like as memes, especially I'm talking about here, these dips are where you should be buying. I think these peak FUD times, the amount of holders and the amount of volume that Brett's getting on a daily, I don't think it's ignorable. And I think these dips, like what we've seen with Pepe, coming down from like a 1.5 billion high to, again, like I think I got in about 290 or 300 and something. And then within a space of a couple of months, it was back up at like a 3 billion or something. So a lovely 10x on that as well. So, I think, look, it's not financial advice or anything like that, but we've seen this play out time and time again. When the FUD comes, you got to, if you've got an outlook on some certain coins that you maybe feel like you've missed an entry on, some of these might be the time to buy. Because, I mean, look, it's launched, it's there, the volume's there, there's a lot of holders now. FUD like that would have killed the project early on, but I feel like, Brett's took off enough. But we got a hand from LRG as well. LRG, over to you.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, so I've been kind of following this because I've decided that the meme train is what I'm going to ride this bull run. So I've kind of
how you make money, man. Honestly.
Yeah, and in fairness, so basically this all started because there's a guy called Crash. He's got a big following, and he's been pumping this Brett. He put in. Well, his original tweet was he put in 35 grand and he's got 5 million. He's made 5 million. He's taken out about 400 grand and he's got about a value. His wallets, 2 wallets are about 5 million at the minute of Brett. So basically he was, that's me doorbell. Hang on 1 second. Hang on.
Everyone's got their doorbell ringing today. What's going on?
It's a peak time, isn't it? It's the peak time for home deliveries. Just before the space, my mom and dad had their Gusto delivery as well, so I'll be scrolling that in a little bit.
I do need
my delivery. That was my Gusto delivery.
Was it actually? Yeah.
Yeah.
Gusto, yeah, they better sponsor us for this.
Well, we jump between HelloFresh and Gusto, but in fairness, Gusto are the better ones. But we jump between the two because we get discounts. So
yeah,
we play the 40 email accounts.
Yeah, come back to us. We'll give you 50% off. All right, we'll go back for a month.
He's got this big investment, and he's been touting on his timeline constantly about like how this Brett he's going to make a fortune. And then another guy called, I think it's Caesar's Calls or something like that. He basically is tracked down. He's kind of like a smaller scale Zach ZBT, whatever he's called.
Yeah.
And he's basically tracked and found that there's been this small cabal of, when the token launched, there was 80% of it was almost like whitelisted to a certain amount of holders, and Crash, I think, well, he's basically saying it's actually Crash's coin. That's what he's saying, is he's created it.
Oh man.
And there's been a whole back and forth for like the literally last 3 or 4 days of real back and forth with stuff. And it did drop all the way down to, I think it was 240 million market cap or something like that. And it has bounced back. But I think, like a lot of these memes, and I think it happened with Pepe and all the rest of it, is I think it's just everyone's playing the game to make money. And at the end of the day, as long as you respect that and you understand that, and it gets enough traction, you've just, it's kind of, you've just got to kind of just run the risk with a lot of these things. And I think Brett will do well. I think it's bounced back very strongly. I'm kicking myself because I didn't buy. I've got some already, but I didn't buy more. And I faded it really, and I should have just knuckled down and bought some. But I don't know if you're aware of, obviously, I think I put in one of the groups that we're in about the whole gummy thing, but that's through this group called Crypto Banter, and they're trying to be very transparent with the whole meme, and they're basically giving it all to the community to run. But like they said, it's a difficult balance because
lazy.
If you don't... What?
Give it to the community to run. We've made our money. We're good now.
But they didn't actually keep any themselves. They had to buy off the market. They didn't keep any themselves, and they've marked all their wallets and all the rest of it. But what they're saying is it's quite difficult because even if they don't hold some back, it gets sniped by bots anyways.
Yeah.
So you can't really. I don't think there's not really a perfect way of doing this because there's always going to be somebody trying to get an edge with anything, even general altcoins. Forget meme coins, but there's always going to be holders. So I think it's just to play the game. That's what you've got to do really at the end of the day.
Yeah, you're gonna get rugged most of the time as well, just due to some of those snipers. Like obviously, if you're doing like a utility launch or an actual launch with like a DEX and everything, there's obviously like market makers involved and anti-sniper bots and all the other things that come with it. But with a general meme coin that's just having a fair launch or maybe even a pre-sale, yeah, you're going to be subject to all of that all the time. You can't stop half of it. 80%, however, in the hands of like just 100 and something people, I think it was, that actually bought in. It's pretty crazy in the early days, the amount of people that are going to win their big during the run. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and Brett continues to go higher, and I don't think it's over for it either.
Yeah, let's go. Thanks for tuning in.
Sorry, LRG, go on.
I was saying, I don't know, I think Mala mentioned about that cool one, and they've just like literally dumped on the community because they launched a token. They did I don't know if they actually did a pre-sale, but they sniped. I think they sniped about 85% of it, and then just literally dumped about $2 million worth on the token launch. So yeah, I think you're going to get it all the time. I think it's just, unfortunately, it's just the space, isn't it? It's just how it kind of goes with any coins, but certainly with meme coins, it's definitely the way.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a bounce, unfortunately. Pav's up for his dinner, and as we said, Gusto's there's waiting for me as well. But I appreciate everyone tuning in at the later time of 6 p.m. Usually we do this every single morning at 9 a.m. BST. But this morning, Twitter was playing up very, very badly for us. I don't actually know what was going on, but everyone's space was affected this morning at the normal time we go live. I thought it was an issue with our phones. We'd updated apps. We tried on video. Nothing was actually working. So yeah, really miss you guys this morning. Appreciate everyone that jumped up tonight as well. We didn't want to miss a day. Like we were really good this morning to miss out on getting the space live and get running. So we should hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything's good, tomorrow morning, which now it looks like it's going to be because we're live now. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. If you join us for the first time, welcome. Make sure to follow the Minted account. And yeah, I guess that wraps it up. It's weird being this late in the day. The sun's about to set here as well. So yeah, it's weird. It's normally the sunrise that we're going through on the space. But yeah, it is what it is. Tomorrow morning, we have an AMA with my neighbor Alice, who is our sponsor for the next, I think, 5 or 6 days. So really appreciate them. We're going to be diving into what they've got going on. It's really pretty cool. I don't normally get excited by gaming projects, but this one I actually am. And we're going to be going through an AMA with them. So yeah, tune in tomorrow morning. We're going to deep dive into my neighbor Alice, how you can get involved. Their beta season 1 is now live as well. So yeah, we'll kind of see you guys in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in at the later time and making some time in your evenings as well as your mornings to tune in with us. We really appreciate it. So we'll catch you tomorrow morning, guys. Bye-bye.